Okay, so we did this part in class. Now you're going to fill in the blanks. Okay, so when you're testing for proportionality, you're looking for things that are proportional, equal to each other. So one way to do that is algebraically, which is by doing cross products. So 7 times 2 is 14, and then 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, so this one would be a no. All right. 18 times 2 is 36, and 3 times 12 is 36. So this one is a yes. Okay. If you do it graphically, what you need to know is that when the plot points and observe if the graph is a straight line through the origin. If it is a straight line, which this one is a straight line, and goes through the origin, which is 0, 0. So this one is a yes. Now, if it would have been here, this has a straight line, but it does not go through the origin. So this one would be a no. Okay. Then we have the types of ratios and proportions. All right. So you have part to part. So there are 18 girls. That's kind of hard to see. There are 18 girls and 12 boys in Mrs. Smith's class. There are 42 girls and 30 boys in the band. If the ratio of girls to boys in Mrs. Smith's class proportional to the girls to boys in the band. Okay, so here's your girls to boys, and this is Smith's class, and this is the band. We want to know if this ratio is equal to this ratio. Okay, we can do this by doing cross multiplying the cross products, and you would end up with, let's see, I think this one is 540 and 504. So this one is a no when you multiply them out. Okay. There's also part to whole. There are 240 7th graders. They're talking about the whole 7th grade, and 48 of them are left-handed. So this is the part. So part of them are left-handed, so that means the other piece of them are right-handed. In Mrs. Hone's class of 30 students, that's your whole, 6 of them are left-handed. So make sure you're doing part over whole, and you keep it the same. So this is 6 out of 30. This is Hone's class. And then 48 out of 240. This is the grade, the whole grade. When we do cross products for this one, you're going to get 1,440 on both of them. So they are proportional. Okay. So pretty much when you're looking for proportionality, all you need to make sure you're doing is, one, setting up the ratio correctly, keeping part over whole or girls over boys, however you set it up, continue to set it up that way. Don't flip things around. And then if it's a graph, make sure that it goes through 0, 0 and it is a straight line. Okay, let's look at the bottom part. So recognizing the constant of proportionality in a table. So if we were given a table, sorry, nothing's messed up. Okay. I see that this one goes up by 2 every time on the X. This one goes up by 5 every time on the Y. So a table represents a proportion if the ratio of the change in X to the change in Y is constant, which means this and this are constant. They never changed. Okay? Looking at a graph. We just talked about this. It makes a straight line and it goes through 0, 0. So this one is proportional. A graph represents a proportion if the points form a straight line and crosses that line at the origin. You have to make sure it has both of those. Straight line, 0, 0. Straight line, 0, 0. An equation represents a proportion when the independent variable has a coefficient that is an integer. Okay. A plumber is paid hourly. Oh, let me say something about this. If this was 1/2 x, this would be a no. This is a yes. Okay. Integer. If it was a -7, it would be a yes. It's an integer. But if it is a fraction, which is a rational number, it would be a no. That is not proportional. Okay. A plumber is paid hourly. The more hours worked, the more the plumber is paid. Okay. A verbal description represents a proportion if it has two quantities that vary at the same rate. So if they're changing at the same pace, okay, and the ratio between the quantities is constant. So this example is $100 in 2 hours. So that's actually $50 per hour. Okay, so this is a unit rate, which is what they're talking about. And then this one is being paid $700 in 14 hours. But if you simplify it, it's down to its unit rate. It's $50 in 1 hour. So that's just page number. This is the unit rate. So this is a yes. Okay. Make sure this is glued in your journal. If you have it, you're able to use it on quizzes and daily work and everything. So it will help you with your preparing for your test.